Hello peeps, my name is Saad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Meet AI. Today we are diving into the world of AI and machine learning, specifically focusing on fine-tuning large language models using Lamini. If you are curious about customizing AI for specific tasks, you are in the right place. Let's get started. First, let's head over to the Lamini website. Here you can find a wealth of resources, documentation, and tools to help you get started with fine-tuning your own language models. Make sure you have your API key ready as we will be using it in our Python script. First things first, you can type lamini.ai and you'll land here on the Lamini's website. Here are the docs which I was discussing before. Here you can find all the methods of fine-tuning, retrieval augmented generation, generation pipeline, memory tuning, hyperparameters, etc. Okay, so what we are gonna discuss today is memory tuning. So, as you can see there, memory tuning is a revolutionary new capability from Lamini that lets you embed precise factual data inside the LLM's memory. What we can do, we can log into Lamini's website by using our email. After logging in, you can see many sections here: tune, examples, docs, help, and your account. And here you can find some free credits. Here are the examples of using Lamini, and here you can find your own Lamini API key. We can change it, we can get new token, and here is the playground where you can talk with Lamini's LLMs, and here you can choose LLMs between the Llama 3.1, Mistral, Llama 3.2, 3 billion, and Tiny Random Mistral. Okay, so now let's get started with our Python script. Without wasting our time, I just jumped into my VS Code screen. Okay, first things first, you have to install some libraries, including the python.env, the Lamini, and you can use any of the Python's version as I'm using 3.11. Okay, so here I'm just importing Lamini from the Lamini's library. I'm just importing my operating system. I'm just using the .env package to load my environment variables. And I'm just importing the Lamini. Here I just define the load.env method, and inside my try block, I'm just checking if my operating system is able to get my key. And here I'm just initializing my Lamini's API key from my environment variable file. And here I'm just catching the API related errors. And now what's most important is your data set. I've just got some data set from the ChatGPT, and but you can have your own data set in this form: input and output form. The input should be from the human side and the output should be from the AI side. And I've just initialized the data variable with a list of questions and answers or input or outputs as my data set. And at the end of this function, I'm just returning my data. This is the function of my data set, which is getData function. And at the end, I'm just returning my data. And for training purpose, you just need to initialize the LLM. So LLM equals to the Lamini, which we imported from the Lamini library. And here is the model name. I'm using Llama 3.1 8 billion instruct, but you can use any of the given model. And here I've just initialized the data variable with my getData function. And the most important part is there. Here we are just training our LLM. So LLM.train method. So here I'm just initializing my data set to my data variable, and I'm just multiplying it with 20. As my data set is small and we need about 500 to 1000 examples to train a good model. And here I'm just defining my fine-tuning arguments such as max steps, which I've defined 100. This means the model will take 100 training steps. And secondly, I'm just defining my learning rate, which is 0.003. And here is the GPU configuration. I'm just defining the GPUs to 8 and defining the nodes to 1, which means that there will be one machine having 8 GPUs. So this is the whole code we need to train a model. You can go to the terminal and you can activate your virtual environment. As I'm using Poetry, so I'll say Poetry shell. I've uploaded a video about Poetry, which is used to control the virtual environment. You can check that out. The link is in the description. Okay, so now let's move towards our folder. And here is my memory tuning file. So what I can say Python and memory tuning. So what important here is your dataset ID. Here is the ID you can define while using the dataset for the second time. And here you can find the link to see your submitted training job. Okay, let's go to this URL. When you click on that URL, you'll land here. And here you can see that your training job is in the queue. Here is your dataset ID. And here you can see the evaluation results, your playground. Here you can see your lows. Here you can see the logs and your arguments. Okay, so this will take a bit time. So for the sake of this demo, I've just trained a model before so we can test that out. This was my training data set, and here you can see the evaluation results. And here is the playground for my data set, which I've uploaded. And this is the lows. Here you can see that it is constantly dropping, which is good. And here are the lows, and here are the arguments which we have defined while training our model. So let's go to the evaluation zone and just let's pick up any of the question and let's test our model. Here is the question, and let's go to the playground and let's type in here. Let's see the results of the fine-tuned model. Okay, so it is generating the results. Can Lamini be used on a regular computer, or do I need specialized hardware or software? So it generated an answer. Lamini can be used on regular computers without any specialized hardware or software, etc. Okay, so now let's see that Lamini can be used on regular computer without any specialized hardware. So you can see that the precision and accuracy. So as we have fine-tuned our large language model, so here are the steps you can follow to use your model. So let me comment out this part and uncomment this part. And here you can just again define the LLM as we defined before. But before we define the name of the language model, and here we have to define the model ID. You can get that model ID by clicking on this URL. Okay, so next, what we can do, we can call the generate method provided by the Lamini. So llm.generate, and here is the structure of the prompt. Here we are defining our question. And that's it. That's how you can easily fine tune any of the given model. So that's it. That's a wrap from my side. I'll see you in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share my video if you find it helpful.